Is it some devil that crawls inside of you?
Okay.
Yeah, this is a really cool space, and I'm really stoked to have it while my studio is getting done or finished.
Yeah?
Yeah, which is just a, spare bedroom.
Yeah. Oh, got it. Okay. So that's where your studio is?
Yeah, it's literally going to be in. So it works for me, too, because, if there's someone I don't know and I have to meet through someone else, coming over here is probably, nice and neutral. It's not, hey, will you come to my house in the ghetto,
Yeah.
upstairs,
that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Welcome, Tiff.
Thanks, Dallas.
So you did how many stand-up sets now?
I did 2.
You did 2?
Yeah.
That's a lot more than some people who wish they were comedians do. By 200%, at least. What were they like?
Well, let's see. The first one was in November, and so I can organize that answer. And the second one was in January. So for the first one, I had thought for a while about what I wanted to joke about, and then the Monday before that Friday's show, I started writing it down or putting it in the Google Drive, which is usually my go-to, but then I don't know if you remember.
Yeah. No, talk to me.
The night that I was trying to add the jokes to Google Drive, the power went out.
No, all around?
In it looked like it was our entire condo community. And I think across the street too, because the street lights were out, and there's a church across the street.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember something about that now.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, I did make a joke about it because in my set. That was one of the earlier things I said was I had just moved, talking about kind of the stresses of moving and how it's hoarders and camping and traveling.
Okay.
And then, amidst all that, trying to get ready for the first time I'm ever going to do stand-up comedy, and then the power goes out, so I can't use Google Drive. And I could use my phone, but of course, it was a night where my phone needed to be charged.
Yeah,
because it's a new phone, and it doesn't need to charge until every 2 or 3 days. You know?
Really? What the hell?
Yeah.
That's called an old phone, and it's called a flip phone, actually. What the fuck?
I mean, yeah, its battery is about as long as a flip phone's.
That's wild. What kind of phone do you have? A nuclear fusion phone?
It's going to sound like an ad, but no, it's a Motorola 5G with a stylus.
Oh, they have styluses back? Where the fuck have I been?
Yeah.
I didn't
awesome.
get a stylus. I didn't get my first smartphone until the end of the Obama administration. I think my first touchscreen phone.
Yeah, okay. That's about when I got my first smartphone too.
Really? Yeah.
But it wasn't that late. His first administration was ended in 2012 when he got reelected. So I got my first smartphone late in 2011.
Oh yeah, mine was 2014.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
A little bit later.
Yeah, a little bit later.
You were halfway
2.
through Obama's second term.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was later than that. I think I was fucking teen. No, I was probably 20, 21 by the first time I got a real smartphone, an iPhone.
Yeah.
I've been iPhone gang ever since though. I think it's funny everyone gets. I just love getting other people riled up. So when everyone's pro Android, just shit all over them.
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
Well, you can if you want, but I love my Android.
I mean, I don't know. It has a stylus. The battery lasts fucking 20 times as long as my phone.
Seriously.
I can't talk any shit.
Yeah, and there's even digital coloring. There's an app that I can open
cool.
and there's some that just came on the app in the phone, and then I think you can download your own too.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah. Well, so it's a normal phone is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay.
But I mean, I can color with the stylus.
I understand, and I'm very envious right now because I want to do digital art and stuff because my my napkin art just really isn't cutting it. But digital art would be really cool to be able to add colors and not have to go to Michael's to buy the fucking colors or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, let's get back to your stand-up.
Yes.
Tell me all about the way it felt and what it was like in your experience, because I did my first one right across the street. It was 3 years ago, and there's a pandemic that happened. I don't know if you remember. And there was like a big gap.
What was the pandemic called again? What was the virus? Wasn't it like Spanish flu or something?
Something like that. Something related.
Yeah. But
forever ago, and I couldn't tell you how it felt now.
Yeah, you did your show across the street. So where across the street?
This is back when I used to be the beach.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So and it was indoors, and it went great, and it felt really good, and I was like, okay, I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And it was like my friend helped me do just like this. Like, friend asked me to help be a part of a show and make a night happen, and I was like, sure. And I did 20 minutes, which is a long time for any stand-up to do that's like less than 10 years experience to 5 years experience.
Yeah,
20 minutes is a lot. I mean,
I'm
not saying it was punches the whole time, but
based on my experiences doing it, I would feel like 20 minutes was too much for me anyway.
Oof. I couldn't believe I'm sorry. I'm talking about myself here. I'm not trying to ask you about how your fucking set went. Damn it.
It's okay. I mean, it's better to not be one-sided, I guess. But I'll finish and then
very
you can share more. Yeah, whatever. I guess it's in my personality. Like, I'll let people speak as much as they want to, and then
just wait to see how stupid they are.
No, but when they're finished, then I'll respond and then hopefully get my airtime.
I think you're just a good listener, it sounds like.
Maybe.
Because I'm not so much.
That's okay.
I have like verbal diarrhea half the time, so.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, you do. It's awful.
I mean, because I've been listening to the podcast to kind of like prepare for
really?
Today.
I always wonder like what that's always a fun conversation when I have someone on. I'm like, I really don't care, but do you like listen to the podcast? And they're like, honestly, no, never listened to an episode.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool, this is perfect. So
I decided to pay attention, partly because Casey recorded and
yeah.
Wanted to listen to his. Casey's my boyfriend, for anybody that is listening.
Two episodes.
Doesn't know that. Yeah.
Probably 2 to 3 episodes back from this one.
His was like right before New Year's and right after Christmas. Yeah.
Really? Oh, wow. Yeah, that's right. It's a good time.
Anyway, and then I listened to the one that was most recent.
Yeah?
With your friend that you knew from the Nipomo video store.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I haven't listened back to that one, so I don't even remember what it was really like, because I drove there from after work and I was like exhausted. So what'd you think? What was it? Was it like, was it good? Was it bad? Was it horrible?
I liked it.
I didn't even use this
equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't even have like your full equipment.
Yeah, I just got to sit there. It was nice. It was like I was on someone else's podcast. I walked into their studio and just like sat down, and I didn't have to fuck with the recording equipment. I just had to put my foot in my mouth a couple dozen times. That was easy.
Yeah. I have a comment about that, a positive comment, but I'll save it for later so we don't get
all right,
off track.
We'll probably forget, and I'll never hear positivity again in my life. But
well, I don't think I'll forget, because it's also relevant to like where we are right now. But anyway, I enjoyed it, and I appreciated the insight. And the commentary on like the manic pixie dream girl was really interesting.
Yeah.
Because like, I don't know if you know like where that term came from.
I want to say it came from Garden State. I don't know.
I mean, yes,
like movie,
but like
era.
those exact words, at least I think, based on just a video from YouTube that I saw, it's from this author John Green, who wrote The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah, I've read most of his books.
Yeah, I've read like 3 of them. I don't know how many.
I've read way more than you.
I don't know how many he's published, but
let's see. The Fault in Our Stars, Looking for Alaska, An Abundance of Catherines, Paper Towns. Those are the ones I've read.
Okay. I've read 3 of those 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Anyway, he came up with the term, and I don't know if it's in one of his novels somewhere or if he just like said it in a blog or something.
Oh, but I used to watch his blog too.
That's funny. Interesting. Yeah, I never did.
I can't believe I'm the same person. I cannot believe I'm telling you these things. I forgot these things about myself.
Yeah.
That is wild.
So, yeah, that is really interesting. But I think it was like finally there was a term to describe like that, what's it called? That type of woman.
Yeah.
Like that type of person. I can't think of the word right now, but someone will help me think of it later when they listen back. And
that archetype.
Right. And with, yes,
yeah.
thank you.
Oh,
I was thinking it was something with a letter P, but no, archetype.
Yeah. Okay, that's funny. I didn't want to just throw some asshole word in
So
in there,
the archetype of like person of that type of woman and how it's actually not very possible. Or
possible. I was saying positive.
Oh, or no, it's not positive
not
or possible, or realistic. Because it's kind of like, you know, we all have our issues or difficulties, and you know, there's a way to deal with them, and there's a way that is just toxic and is a bad influence on others. As well. So I like that, and I liked what you said about like. I don't even know if you called it toxic masculinity or maybe you did.
Yeah, along those lines.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I couldn't help it, but I was kind of like bracing myself because I don't know you super well and I didn't know your friend.
Like, he's going to say something annoying. He's going to say something that's polarizing.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. But then it was not. It was actually like an acknowledgement of like being a man and how different it can be from, you know, being another gender and just kind of having that understanding and that awareness.
Well, thank you. I'm happy you had that opinion of it. Sounds like I need to go back and listen to it and write some things down.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think when it comes to masculinity and just like people's misgivings and misinterpretations of like, oh, this person is such and such, let's file them in this category. I think that happens to young men a lot and older men, and unfortunately they bury these things that they can't express because there's no like accepted facility in society for them to do it, you know, socially or otherwise. Yeah. And turns into cancer and turns into depression and turns into alcoholism and abuse and suicide. And there's all these like mental health issues that men go through just to appease other men, not even to mention if they're attracted to women, the whole other gender. You know what I mean? That is a lot of things I want to consider. Yeah. And like, I want to be a nice conduit for another young man that is going through something. I would hate for me not to have one. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if there's something, that's all. I think I was in a worse place in my life, and I had, very fortunately, was exposed to people who didn't make me feel so bad or weird about myself. Yeah. And I got better, and it feels great. So hopefully I could extend that to someone.
Yeah. Oh, totally. And
well, also making jokes about it too.
Yeah. And it's also a part of like just maturing and just like, I don't want to say growing up, but you know, moving past the early 20s or whatever.
Yeah, like growing beyond what your scope of the world is and really it's so annoying. I'm going through a lot of changes right now, you know, particularly like my voice. I'm getting taller. There's hair in weird places.
You got hair on the bottoms of your feet now?
Oh, yikes. That would be horrible. I mean, no offense to all my hairy-footed listeners. I'm sure there's a dozen or so orangutans. Yeah.
Top of the feet, you know, is pretty normal, depending on things. But bottom of the feet, I've
never seen or heard of such a thing.
Hands,
that sounds violent. Sounds disgusting.
Which is why
I think those people should be eliminated from society. I think we should put tattoo numbers on them, put them in a train, and send them off to some place.
Oh yeah, someplace like yeah.
You know, unless they're Jewish, then they're cool. They just hang out like the rest of them.
Yeah, hang out with their hairy feet. Oh, jeez.
I need you to tell me how your stand-up set went. What it felt like, please.
Yeah, let's stick with that.
Yeah.
Well, it was like once I got past the lack of electricity, you know, kind of feeling like I was now a cave woman amidst all the other things that come with moving and the happenings there. I just had a pencil and paper and, you know, went with that. Yeah. And I think I had a flashlight too and candles. Dedicated. Well, I needed to get shit done. And
so, I mean, what would your process be had you obtained electricity?
Oh, I would have just been typing something on a Google document in Google Drive. That way it would be in the cloud and, not have a chance of losing it or whatever.
Not like a piece of paper you can set somewhere safely.
Yeah.
Unless your house burns down.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to use paper too much.
Why?
Well, because it's just clutter. It's like
it is kind of clutter. I thought you were like a fucking tree hugging hippie. You're like, I don't want to use paper so much. It's the trees. You're like, it's clutter. There's all kinds of shit on the table. Where's my laptop?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and when it comes to work too, I've been digitizing like as much as I can for the assignments that I'm giving. Check. And I would think that after, being on lockdown and learning from home that everyone would kind of be used to that.
Yeah, that medium would be kind of quickly accepted.
And for the most part, they are.
I'm doing an online class now for my job, actually. So that's kind of interesting because I have to do a whole lot of things. Like my coworker's doing it with me, and he'll send me like Google Documents, and I'm like, oh, wait, what?
Oh,
like I have Google Docs, but like I have it on my phone. I have documents on there. I understand that it is a thing, and there is things stored there, and I even have some material written down on my Google Drive. But I'm like, I don't really fuck with that shit, right? It is just not in my wheelhouse, not my medium.
It makes sense.
I grew up with like out technology. I was not financially stable upbringing, so there was not like fancy technology, new technology especially wasn't happening. Like I definitely still have VCR in my house right now.
Oh, that's
cool.
What I mean? Yeah.
I love VHS. They're definitely like feels very comforting to watch.
Oh yeah, but I agree.
Regardless. So like my medium and like my process would be a lot different than just digitizing everything. So I'm learning for work and I'm learning how to conduct myself in a digital way.
Yeah.
Not literally. I'm not fucking useless. I feel like I always tell my grandmother like, oh yeah, I'm not really a computer person. She's like, oh, they have a typing class, and I'm just like, that's not.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, or like she's like, she's like, oh well, she thinks I'm like retarded when it comes to like computers, and I'm just like, no, I'm just not a hacker.
What to do? Yeah. You're just you're not at that level.
I feel like I had to like back up my case and like explain myself a lot there. So all right. You told me about the electricity and everything.
Yeah.
What was it like going to the show that night and like having that?
Well, I'm always tired on Friday evenings because of work, So on the way over, I just thought,
a bump of Coke and you're on. Yeah.
Of course
already
I did.
A comedian. Yeah.
Of course I did, like a real comedian. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely did that. And I actually I went through my my set, and I was driving by myself to get there. So I pretty much remembered like what I had written down, and I just kind of went through and practiced each joke and said each joke
while you were driving.
Yeah,
that's really interesting. You know what? When I'm driving is when some of the better ideas come to me.
Yeah,
and it kind of stresses me out because I'm like, fuck, I will forget that.
Yeah,
I'll write it on my hand sometimes. Sometimes I'll have to pull over and write it down, like type it in my phone. I have an app, and I actually paid for it like a fucking loser. It's so gross. I bought or like paid for an app. It's like it's for joke writing. It's like set material time, like.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's super helpful. And I think it was a huge help for the set I did in November because that one went well for me. It felt really good.
The Coca-Cola pajamas.
Oh my God! Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that was that set. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna give some credit to this thing, and I've been so stressed. Been doing so much new stuff in my life.
Yeah.
I've not been doing any writing. Very frustrating.
It's hard. It's like really emotionally taxing, especially I think coming out of lockdown and coming out of like quarantine.
All of this stuff. Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that was a while ago now. You can get over it. I think you'll be okay. I'm fine. I wrote a set. I wrote something down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my January set didn't go so well.
You thought so?
I didn't think it went well. Yeah, no, I wasn't a fan. And I also, the warmth from the audience wasn't there. when it was in November, and I was like, okay. Also, I came back late. I showed up late. It was like, wasn't immersed. I didn't go over my material or anything very well. So it was I was going through some shit. So I was like, fuck, I really need to be squared away with this stuff. So for you to like be able to like drive here, practice, remember what you wrote down. That's my biggest issue is I will not remember anything. If it's a joke and I think I like it or I love it or I tell myself, okay, you have to remember this. Zero chance. You might as well have smacked me in the face with a frying pan. Just like there's no like fucking way. Character. Yeah. Just that's why my head's so big because I've been hit this many times. Clearly. It fucking sucks. And it's like, oh, this is all I want to do and this is all I want to be good at and this is only thing I like and the only thing I could ever see myself like doing and kind of being okay at. And I can't fucking do it. I can't remember. So I've tried to do like certain methods for writing,
keeping track.
Keeping track, or like bullet points, or like what kind of notes I take for it. And there's just a way that you can't put funny down on something for me, and I think that's it. It's like maybe like what I think is funny, and then putting like breaking it down into like a sentence or like a word and like characters just like doesn't work for me the same.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's probably also dependent on like maybe where you are when you write the jokes. Yeah. Because if it changes, if it varies kind of thing, I'm sure you get ideas elsewhere besides just driving. So maybe that has something to do with it.
Shower is a big one.
Oh, yeah.
I want something to write.
Good ideas in the shower, too.
Yeah. It's usually clean my asshole, but it definitely got to fucking write something down. And it just...
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm in the fucking shower. I can't. I'll forget. I'll remember, but then I get out of the shower and then I never get there. Yeah. It's gone down the drain with the rest of the fucking dirty water.
Yeah. Brown water.
I don't shit in the shower. I don't have a dirty asshole. Actually, I got a bidet in the townhome.
Oh, hell yeah.
Have you ever experienced a bidet?
Yes, that was a quarantine purchase.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And in the new house, we have 2 bathrooms. It's 1.5 bathrooms, I guess. And so there is a bidet in both toilets. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe I lived without one for most of the month of January. It was really awful.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I felt like I was getting like beat up back there. It was just like, it felt unnatural to go back for living with one for a year or 2 before or 3, like, and then not having it.
Oh, totally.
Violence.
In the short term. Because you had it for a while before. Yeah. Literally abrasive. Even if you're using the good toilet paper, which is totally important.
Yeah. Finances are tight. I don't have the good toilet paper. Give me a fucking stream of water in my ass. Let's fucking clean this bitch.
But then, if you don't have the good teepee, but you have a bidet, then you're fine.
Bidet.
Yeah.
You say a bidet?
I guess. Is that how it came out just now? B-Day?
You've only said B-Day. Like D-Day, B-Day. That's totally fine. B-Day sounds... I'm going to call it a B-Day from now on. I got a new B-Day.
I don't know which way is like the proper like European pronunciation.
Well, we're in America. The American pronunciation's proper. Europe can have a cup of coffee on a patio somewhere and ignore the problems of the world.
Yeah.
That actually sounds really nice.
Yeah,
European lifestyle.
Yeah.
Looking pretty good right now.
Yeah. Free healthcare too.
Ugh, yeah, it's way longer. I wait long enough anyways.
Yeah.
I've heard I used to think free healthcare was the bee's knees, and then I found out about private healthcare. Those people get treated way quicker.
Yeah, with like a fucking concierge.
Yeah, or just like having the money to do so. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear everyone on free healthcare. Everyone should have access to that. I also want to have access to better healthcare if I have the money. Yeah. Because if I'm working my ass off, I want someone to repair my ass, put it back.
Yeah, that's only fair.
I think that's a hard societal agreement everyone can come to.
Oh yeah. But anyway, as for the rest of like my comedy experience,
bringing her back, impressive, nice.
Well, I want to finish.
I want you to finish. Go ahead.
I came, and I think after Casey's opening remarks. I think I was the first in the lineup after him hosting, I think. And
gnarly.
I know. I wasn't afraid or shy. I really didn't feel much other than like maybe a moment of nervousness, but I like took a breath and then it went away. Partly because I'm so used to public speaking for my job.
Yeah.
I'm also very used to...
You're in charge of the Fourth Reich, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
So, yeah, I'm used to, like, explaining things slowly and clearly. and and not, and keeping it appropriate. Like, I have to have a G
filter. That's
or PG
interesting.
filter when I'm publicly speaking.
Do you think it makes you more like those boundaries make you more creative with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
I noticed we used to go over to my grandmother's and I'd button up the way I spoke. There's just no way I was just going to be letting like cunt and fag fly out and shit all the time.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I just like keep that, keep that outside of grandma's house.
Yeah.
But I can't help it trying to make jokes and want to be funny. So I'd have to change it up. And I think it helped me a lot because then I could actually like say something funny without putting someone off, because not everyone wants to hear something inappropriate. Some people just want to hear something funny.
Yeah.
And they're like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So I have an appreciation for like clean comedy in general and like having like a cleanness to it because it takes skill.
It does. Yeah.
So like
because you can't like you can't season it, or you don't want to season it with like bad words or sexy things or whatever it is. Yeah.
Although I will say it's so funny because when you do get to slip one of those in there, they're like bombs.
Oh,
they're
yeah.
Like,
yeah. Oh,
they're
yeah, absolutely.
Just a shotgun blast.
Yeah.
So it is really good to pick and choose. And I think I kind of wanted to challenge myself recently as over the pandemic and everything. If like, don't just speak cuss words and then throw other words in the middle of them. Like actually express yourself. Say something and then end it with a cuss word, or have, and I think it's a big help.
Yeah.
So you on stage, tell me more.
And I still like laugh at my own joke because that's totally a thing, right? With comedians. Yeah. I laugh when I think about the first joke I started with because it's true. I don't like stand-up comedy.
That's fucking. It's so funny because you're stuck there for the night, and now Casey does this every month. You're like, I don't like this, but I guess we're going. I guess we're doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
And I don't. Well, I know, but it's like true. I can't hide it because I don't like it because of the same topics. Like it's always topics about sex, or if the comedian is like something other than straight, like they get a lot of mileage out of that. And
yeah, they
dating.
do. I know they have a built-in free. I mean, I'm
which is justified, but
which is justified, but it's standing from over here as the cookie cutter straight white male, like American. Like I'm like, oh, I have a lot of vanilla to sift through to like stand out.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Right.
So
it's just a lot to me anyway. It's a lot of those topics. Like
that doesn't mean you don't like stand up. That means you don't like hack material and
that's
you
a
don't
good way
like
to put it.
You know what I mean? Like I think that's a really fair assessment judgment because sometimes I'll be watching someone's comedy. I'm just like, oh my fucking God, give it a rest. Like,
here we go
I have
again,
better
kind
jokes
of
than
thing.
this.
Yeah.
That was a weird moment of like, might be some arrogance. I'm not, gonna say I'm not a little arrogant about something.
No,
but watching stand up and
totally
like watching
okay,
bad stand up or watching open mics and seeing other people that are doing it when I wasn't, and still thinking like, I'm funnier than this motherfucking person right now. I can't believe we're watching them. This is so rude. Like that's always been a big motivator for me. It was like, I'm definitely at least funnier than that.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's someone that's going to enjoy
some encouragement.
It. Yeah. So it's like some evil self-encouragement, some Machiavellian thing.
Yeah. But I think that's also appropriate enough to where you are, acknowledging that you have self-worth.
That's true. Self-esteem, right?
Self-esteem. Yeah.
So do you have comedians you do enjoy then? or because something when you mention like topic of sex is like, that is a huge bummer for me when I watch women comedians, because it's like, that is, anyone wants to listen to a woman talk about sex.
Yeah.
It's like, if I can't do it with them, let's just have them talk about it. They're like, like guys are just like consumers in that sense. So it's so easy. Some people do it really well, and then some people bore me to tears with it because it's like, oh my God, I can tell you that's as interesting as you get. Or like some people like grew up like kind of dorky or nerdy, like, you know, let's say like a band kid or something, and then they start, then they find like,
I don't know who you could be talking about.
And just people, you know, you grow up with, and then they find out, I can give people hand jobs, and I get a lot of attention and a lot of validity out of this. This is amazing. And from then on, they turn into these people that's as far as they go.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Just like out there just shitting on people for having sex. Sorry, ladies. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Clearly. I like John Mulaney.
Yeah. He's great.
Yeah.
He's absolutely great.
So if I had to pick one, I think he would be one.
Totally understandable choice.
And there have been some other comedians. I can't necessarily think of them by name, but Casey has shown me some on Netflix specials and stuff. And I've liked at least some of their sets.
That's perfect. There's a wide variety out there. I think there definitely is something for everyone.
Yeah.
I will say that I think the best people at it aren't for everyone. That's something I've noticed.
Yeah.
There's people who are very big, very popular, that I don't like. Not a fan of. Couldn't care less if they're around.
Yeah.
But there's also people that are just as good, just as legendary, just as big. And I'm like, I will worship the ground this person walks on while they're still walking. Like, this is amazing. I wish I could be as ugly as that and as funny as that in the same breath. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Understandable. So, yeah, opening joke. You don't like stand-up comedy.
And I was kind of proud of that joke, and I liked that it got laughs. Yeah. That's a really good feeling. And then from there, I guess I had practiced it enough, and I had like the pantomime going for like the joke about moving and some other stuff, to where it felt fine. It didn't feel that different from other different but still like performing experiences that I've had. So I was happy about that, and
so
it
you
was
had
also
like
good
off-stage experience for it almost.
Not in comedy,
but to bring something to it.
Yeah.
Like presence and.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, and I play the trumpet. So, and I went to college and studied music education and had to do a lot of jury performances for that, where like the entire brass faculty is listening and evaluating you, and you're like playing a solo with piano accompaniment.
Way more nerve-wracking than telling dick and fart jokes.
No, exactly. It totally is. And then the high point of that was my junior recital. So everyone that's a college junior has to put on like a full recital with, again, piano accompanist, but this is like publicly attended.
Yeah.
So,
no. So there's people that don't know any better, and they're still going to judge you. That's the funny thing about comedy is like, these people are not as funny as we're even trying to be, and they're still going to like, boo at your jokes. You know what I mean? It is so fucking lame.
Right. Yeah. It is really goddamn lame. Yeah.
So, but you didn't have hecklers or bomb.
No.
So
no.
That's good.
Thankfully, yeah. Neither for my recital or for my comedy experiences.
Yeah.
But it helped that, you know, it was here at Stages. Friends and Casey's family were in the audience. And actually, my dad was in town for the January show. So I think you saw his open mic performance.
I might have. That was a blurry night for me.
I don't remember when he went on.
Very stressed and distracted.
Exactly. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there weren't too many people over age 60 that were going up on stage. So.
Fair enough. I'm very polite with the age I think people are. I keep it under, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, but it's whatever. The point, I guess, is that both times that I did my stand-up, I felt like it was a safe and supportive environment. I would not be comfortable to do anything like this in a more public situation, like at Flower City Ballroom or anything.
Yeah.
And even like the comedy show here that's coming up in March, I'm not going to be on the lineup. I don't want to do it.
Oh, I don't like comedy. I don't want to do it.
Well, I kind of feel like right now I'm out of jokes.
that is all the good, like, you got to try things and then find out.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a joke there. There's things that I only say on stage and I didn't think of before that moment.
Yeah.
And I just was like, oh, pulled that right out of my ass. Thank God.
Spontaneity, being able to like do that and have that as a skill is really important, I think, for being a comedian. I haven't gotten anywhere near there, which is why I kind of had everything planned out as a joke.
Which is also
wrote
good.
down.
No, I had such a like fondness and respect for that. And it was like, you spoke clearly and spoke well. And I remember thinking, fuck, I speak like a bag of Skittles. Like, if you're looking for just the red ones, there's going to be some other colors coming out.
Holding one and they're all in your mouth.
Yeah, it's awful. That was a horrible analogy, and like, there's just... And Leah Brightman, I believe her name is.
Yeah.
Is that her last name?
Brightman, as she likes to
that's right.
overpronounce it.
She has a great stage presence.
Yes,
and
she
speaks
does.
very well and clearly.
Yeah.
I'm very envious. I wish I had something to that effect. I need to work on that. I used to speak a little more clearly and a little, but I don't have to talk to a lot of people at work now, which is nice. So all that customer service, conversational, like improvised, like humor, all that stuff is kind of gone. So it just has to be like the whatever's stored.
Yeah.
Whatever's in storage.
Whatever's in your head while you're working diligently on something by yourself or quietly. Yeah.
Oh,
I get that.
Yeah, so what do you feel? Which one do you feel is your stronger set of the two?
Oh, I know. That's a good question because like the first time I ever did it, there were no expectations. Yeah. And then for my second set at the January show, I personally thought that the jokes were about on par with like the first set's jokes. But I did not feel that I got as many laughs, or maybe that the jokes were like understood as well.
I think that crowd was off.
Oh, you do?
Not entirely and not exactly. And I think it's pretty like hacky. Some people be like, oh, it was the crowd. Like, sometimes it's just you, pal.
Yeah.
So I was like, kind of, it didn't feel like a warm room. They seemed agitated by the time I ended up getting there. And was your dad the one who went up and was like making fun of the crowd for being like that?
No.
Okay.
No, my dad had...
What he had?
He had a really funny joke that was a throwback to when he was in college, and he was in a fraternity, which I had forgotten about, like until like the day of the show. Like he told me the joke, and in context, like I thought, oh my God, that's right, my dad was like a frat guy, which is like wild to me because that was so not what I was interested in when I was in college. I was band geek.
Oh, really?
Like you mentioned, band geeks.
Geeks,
through and through.
I had no idea. That's so funny. So that probably hit home for you when I was like, these fucking nerds.
Well, that's why I said, like, who could you be talking about?
I know. I heard you, and I was like,
well,
I'm not talking about you.
Yeah, and I knew that, but you could have been, and I wouldn't have minded. Like,
you're like, I wouldn't have minded. I was jacking everyone off. This is band geek.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean, there's a lot of fine and gross motor skills involved with playing an instrument. So.
That is so true. That is so true. That's something I never played guitar. I never want to actively witness like a date or someone I'm with, like watching a guitar player or like a drummer and like seeing like the wheels turning in their pussies and like, what is this? Stop looking.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
Artists.
So my dad was a frat guy, which again was like kind of a wild thing to remember, you know, when I was talking about that and when he was telling me this joke. And so he had the joke in which I can't remember the exact details, but I think it was something to do with one of his professors giving a lecture. And I think there was also something to do with my dad's fraternity. I can't remember exactly, but they were talking about like maybe going on a fishing trip. My dad was going to be like one of the presenters, like to help them prepare for the trip. And so he was talking about baiting the fishing hook and becoming a master
Oh yeah,
baiter.
I remember that part. I remember that.
So that was my dad.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah,
good.
I thought that if you were there, you would at least remember that.
I remember masturbating. Yeah. Damn,
Yeah.
I'm that easy, huh? Just that obvious. That's funny.
Yeah. But otherwise, yeah. When I told my jokes that night, I wasn't like offended or anything, but it was more just, I wasn't sure if it was just me needing to work on delivery, which is what Casey and our good friend Charlie said. Like the two of us and Dad and so the four of us actually went to dinner after the comedy show, and so we were just kind of debriefing and.
Yeah. Oh, I'm jealous. I love the debrief.
Yeah. Well, next show.
Just anything. Like
even
a nice
if I'm
debrief.
not actually telling jokes, but we could do a debrief. My dad won't be in town for this one, but me, Casey,
I don't have to
Charlie,
follow that legend.
whomever. Yeah. And my dad was really funny. I was like really amazed. Well, not amazed, impressed.
Yeah. Isn't it nice when your parents can still like pull an old trick?
Yes. Oh, it really is. Yeah. It's impressive.
I'm
And
asking
it's
because
also,
I
like,
don't know
surprising.
my parents. I got them figured out. There's no way. They're not doing any. They're not pulling any wool over my eyes.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Discovering things, I guess.
Yeah. Discovering things. I try to like access them and talk to them sometimes and see like what new, maybe some nostalgia or maybe something. Just get them to like tell me like something I don't know.
Yeah.
Something I haven't heard them say.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Like, and it's interesting how it changes with age as you grow up and they're growing, and you maybe think of yourself not as a parent-child relationship, but as two people in the same world, and you're just people, like you're just a person. So you have these flaws, right? You have these characteristics that are like absolutely ingrained in you, and they're not good or they're not going anywhere, and you kind of have to like share that experience. And it's really fun to have like a self-awareness with your parent to a degree, and sometimes Jesus Christ. But
yeah,
I'm trying to be as present as I possibly can be, while also like trying to just appreciate them for who they are and remember that like they're probably gonna beat me to the grave. You know?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's heavy to think about.
Yeah, that'd be lame. My dad would be trying to get laid at my funeral.
Oh, God. Yeah. Where are the divorced single women?
It's like, didn't Dallas know more divorced women? What's going on?
Yeah. Or didn't Dallas's friends have parents who were divorced and single?
God, Dallas, you didn't have friends with us. None of your friends had a single hot mom in the group. That's funny.
Yeah.
So, well, I hope you do it again.
Thanks. I will.
Okay, good.
With that amount of encouragement, I just needed a little push. I'm still not planning on it for the March show, but perhaps for the one after that.
Right on. Good. I'm looking forward to it. That'd be cool. And it's also nice to like have someone going through this experience and being able to talk to them about it. Because I feel like I haven't been able to talk to anyone about stand-up.
Really?
Like early experience, this early, beginnings of it. So it's like
around the time you did the show at the beach and stuff.
Yeah. Because I ended up doing a couple more shows there before the COVID thing and everything, and it was cool. And I think I think the November show might have been my first show back.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah, and you might have said something about it in your set.
Oof.
I
have
know
not
if you
watched
did.
the video. I got the whole video. I was pleased that I lasted that long on stage at least. usually that many people watching, I can't last that long. But I just can't stop. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. You got to let it out. Especially, I get it because like you've been, your work environment is such that I
can say anything I want at work.
Many to
because it's
talk
just a
to.
blue collar job.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
work with another man my age.
Yeah. So I'm
or
sure you're
another
both
man
very
slightly older. So
verbose.
honestly, it's kind of sometimes it's kind of stale because I can't. There's no sexual tension.
Yeah.
There's no added layer.
Yeah.
Like when I worked at Starbucks, there's like the added layer of like there's a customer coming through.
Right.
I'm gonna do something that's gonna upset one of my coworkers, or they're gonna upset me. And some of us want to fuck each other sometimes, or at least we're thinking that because we're in a high stress job and our little lizard brains are going. Dick,
Absolutely.
Fucking.
Yeah, your amygdala is activated.
Exactly. Is that what it is? That's the one. And
I know that from therapy.
I haven't taken therapy, so I'm still learning what all of life is still.
Yeah.
So it's not all it's cracked up to be. I thought that being able to say whatever you want at work would be a dream.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm as funny.
Yeah.
I think the first year I worked at my job, I don't think I made anyone laugh, which is so strange for me.
Yeah.
The reason I wanted to be a comedian. People told me I should be a comedian my whole goddamn life.
Totally.
I'm not the funniest fucking person in the room or around all the time, but it's a reflex. It's like something I'm okay at. So for me to not make the boss laugh, or my coworkers laugh, or anyone laugh, is just crushing.
Yeah.
Just crushing but it kind of worked. It kind of pressure cooked me into a diligent employee and worker. So.
Yeah. Yeah, because you had
thing.
to concentrate on the work.
You're
essentially.
I guess I better just learn this trade.
Yeah. Yeah.
My dick jokes are just going right over the fucking heads of everyone around me.
Yeah. I don't have anything better to do, so I might as well actually work. Yeah.
That's usually my excuse to not work. I have something better to do. It's making all of my coworkers laugh, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it can get pretty brutal sometimes. Sometimes we have to say something and we have to say I'm just kidding. Because men are funny and dark and punchy and dark humor. I've had no idea how much I appreciate dark humor from another individual. Oh my God. Or at least when someone can laugh at me making a suicide joke, it's or they're just being polite so I don't kill myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
That shit's so funny. It's good to me. It's just right. It is right it's the chord that I can strike.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I think maybe for March, I'll just do dark humor only.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do a whole contemporary set. Or not a contemporary one. A conceptual set.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. I got it.
Yeah.
I need to go back and listen to the video.
You might get some ideas, I guess, and I should probably do that too.
I'm so nervous too. I started it and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I was just like, yikes.
It was
There's no way.
too much for you to bear.
It is so mortifying to see myself and hear myself. I can hear myself all day. I've done the podcast for years. I'm very used to it.
Yeah.
I know when something is kind of funny or not funny, and then I'll be like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's fucking asshole. But to see myself, just
is that part of it?
Self-conscious and I've never had the visual component to it.
Well,
sounds miserable.
Yeah, it does. It is something that you would want to acknowledge and get used to in that situation. I don't think I'm explaining it very well, but I noticed that when we were on lockdown and I was teaching from home, all of a sudden I was on camera all the time, and I was either making videos here's how you play Twinkle Little Star on the clarinet, or I was Zooming with my classes, with my students. And so I got really used to it. And initially I did cringe, when I would watch back on a video that I recorded for them, I'd be like, oh geez. But then I got over it.
Was there anything that happened on those Zoom calls that you remember that was mortifying or embarrassing or things that would happen? Because I feel over the lockdown, the pandemic and everything, we'd see all these videos come up of so-and-so leaving their mic on and ripping ass, or someone taking a bong rip and like we all can't see them. Just hilarious shit like that.
Well, I mean, nothing to do with like inappropriate stuff, you know, while I was like teaching, but I would get really embarrassed if like I was trying to run class and then I would hear like
At your
on my
door?
front door.
Oh yeah.
I would be so alarmed and startled, and like if Casey wasn't home, I had to deal with it. And it's also it was a weird feeling, like if I needed to like go and deal with something, because it's kind of like the equivalent of leaving the classroom. And you can't do that like in a real life situation.
You
like,
can't just be like, I left the oven on. I gotta go.
There has to be a credentialed teacher in the room, like while a class is happening. So, I was aware of that, but I also acknowledge that, you know, it's not actually a classroom, and if I have to like just leave for 1 second, like as long as I'm not like, you know, taking a coffee break, turning off my camera. Yeah.
These damn kids today.
There were maybe a couple of other things from the other end of the Zoom call, but I can discuss them off the air.
Okay, fair enough. I can appreciate that.
You can get it. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I was worried I was going to be on camera for this online class. Thankfully, I'm not. And
is there an instructor, or is it like asynchronous assignments?
What word did you just say? Asynchronous?
I was wondering if you'd know the word. So asynchronous.
Oh, asynchronous. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't hear you right. Or you said it wrong.
Maybe I mumbled it.
You probably said it wrong.
I probably did.
It's an instructor, and he'll have a mic, and it's just him, and then he has to like unmute us if he wants to talk to us, and that's so nice because you don't see anyone, you don't hear anyone.
So are you on Zoom though? And everyone's cameras are off, or
no? I don't know actually. We're not. Are we on Zoom? I don't think we're on Zoom.
Okay.
I think we're on like a window, like a portal window for the page, but I really couldn't tell you. I think I've done 1, maybe 2 Zoom calls of any kind in my life.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a couple people try and do podcasts with me that way.
Oh, yeah.
Or like to be on the podcast with me, and I was just like, that kind of, it sounds horrible.
Yeah.
And the Zoom podcasts absolutely sucked during quarantine. That was one of the worst parts, is like, I love listening to podcasts as much as anything else I do. I love like making them, thinking about them, and like this is like something I'm really passionate about. So for other people to like start putting out like less than good content at like a really consistent bad quality, or like just, you know, it hurt. Right? My favorite hobby, the thing I can do anywhere, listen to all these podcasts when I'm locked inside the house because there's a airborne something that's going to kill everyone. Yeah. And it's just miserable, and it sucks. That's fucking lame. It was awful. So I told myself I was like that. The essence of what I'm trying to get out of people is just a connectedness, face to face, meaningful conversation.
Sure.
You know, not even meaningful, just connect with the person.
Yeah. And there's I don't want to say a lot, but there are things that are unfortunately missed just when it's not in person.
Yeah. Like cues, there's cues and there's subtleties, and it absolutely is like, if you're paying attention, it is.
Yeah.
It is a lot more informative.
Yeah.
So another thing, big fan. Does it suck? Because I wish I could podcast with my friends who like live in Colorado and fucking on the East Coast and shit. Yeah, absolutely. That totally blows. But it also was really exciting when I get a super valuable like moment out of someone.
Yeah.
So,
and you
fuck
can
Zoom.
Take a lot from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this works well with my comment about what I said I wanted to come back to. And it's a positive thing. So like we're at stages, and this is where most of our rehearsals took place for the Circus Starts at Midnight band.
Yeah.
Before we had our last Halloween show at the Wicked Shamrock last October. Mm-hmm. That was our first show at the Shamrock in 3 goddamn years.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah. And so what I thought of was how, like, in our band, we rotate with different singers, you know, and different members write, you know, our material. Mm-hmm. I would say like about half of our group, and it's a big group, has, you know, at least a song that we've performed of theirs.
Yeah,
and
that's good. That's really cool.
Yeah, and it just adds so much variety to just our overall performance when it's more than one singer, you know, that's rotating in and just changing it, and people are also changing instruments. I kind of found myself with the last couple of shows, because we did also do 2 kind of outdoor shows in 2021 around Halloween.
Yeah. Okay.
So for those 2 shows, that was the first time that, in addition to playing trumpet, I also brought along a trombone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like previous to that, I had like kind of experimented with other secondary instruments when we did our circus shows, but there was something about playing the trombone that was just really fun, because with that instrument, you can be so expressive because of the slide. Mm-hmm. Just like the drama of like moving the slide and like literally sliding into different notes. And all the different like sound effects. Like it's a noisemaker, you know.
Noisemaker.
If anything else.
I never even thought about it like that, because I'm never getting exposed to brass instruments in live shows usually.
Yeah, right. It's not that
really
common.
Cool.
Not most, but a lot of the music I like to listen to has not just brass, but band instruments in it.
What kind of music do you like to listen to?
Indie rock.
Yeah.
With like strings and brass and woodwind instruments.
Like who?
Like Los Campesinos.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, they're not super well known, but
it's indie rock. It's not supposed to be.
It is. Yeah. And the National, they're more known.
Yeah,
I love the National.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah, and when they have instruments, like, it really adds a lot of drama to their music.
Yeah.
I love the Arcade Fire.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just having a conversation with someone about them. I can't stand them, but I love their music too.
Interesting.
I don't know. I feel like if I think someone's like too hipster for me or something, or like they're like too weird, they're such artists.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my God, give me a break. I wish I just heard your music. But it's a nice exercise in separating like your opinion of someone and their art and their music. So it's always a good.
Yeah.
Kind
of like the art
hurdle.
from the artist.
Exactly that. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah.
You said it.
But yeah, also about like our circus act, the way that we change up like the songs and the styles a little bit and the singers, I think sounds similar to how you have your podcast approach. I don't want to call it a format, because it's like
bring it on.
It changes, so it's not like a set format. Or maybe formula is the better word.
Say it however you want.
Yeah, well, like you were describing, where at your last podcast, like it was you coming to your friends, right? Yeah, so you went over there. Yeah. So even though you were essentially hosting, it was a different feel.
Yeah, absolutely. I was in a different part of the stage.
Yeah, well, and the way that I think you are just having the podcast, like the way you're conversing and interacting.
Just wired a little different. Yeah. It does jump around, where it can be like, a little more like weighted moment, and then a little more goofy and a little silly. And absolutely. I think just like most conversations, people are like that. I think it's just authentic. It's real. Like, you have to be having like a job interview for it to go just straight in one thematic way. Yeah. So I see I understand the analogy, and for those of my listeners who don't know, what is Circus Starts at Midnight?
Yeah. So we are a band based in Lompoc. The ideas for the band were first conceived by Sam Cole, our front man, who that's maybe his real name, but for all intents and purposes, his name is Felonious Freedomizer. And a friend of his, Coriel Chavez, and I feel bad because right at this moment I can't think of Coriel's circus name. But anyway, like over a decade ago, I think the two of them just kind of were hanging out or conversing, and they each like kind of had creative ideas to like have this band. And
that's right.
And yeah, because I think you actually had Sam on your podcast
a while ago,
a long time ago. I listened to that episode.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you did too, just because you said you listened to a few.
I wanted to when I realized that he did it. Yeah,
that's cool. Right on. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
and that was a good episode. He's a good guy.
Yeah, and so since then, like, it's just grown and just kind of evolved in some really cool ways. I think the first show that I can remember like anybody talking about was maybe around 2012. So that was still a year before like I moved to Lompoc.
Whoa.
Or even like knew anybody or knew about the band. But then I would say like after I kind of like met Casey and started getting to know people in and around the area, you know, who were musicians and such, like I was able to become friends with Anna, and we're still really good friends. And, you know, she plays drums in our band, and so that was fairly easy for me to kind of just ask her about it. And Casey initially told me about the band, and said, you might even be able to get a spot in this band.
That's
cool. And
Yeah.
then once I got to know Anna, we kind of both like encouraged Sam to like have another show.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we did.
And Anna's his sister.
Oh yeah, she is. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, she is.
Just for everyone listening.
Yeah, for everyone listening. Yeah, we did like my first show with the group in like June 2015. And it was at like a hookah house in Santa Barbara.
2015. Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can't remember the first time I saw a band.
Yeah.
It might have been at the beach.
Yeah, because
Might
we
have been
did
a
a
beach
beach
show.
show. I think that was August 2019.
And
if
then
that sounds
and
right.
then Halloween right after
Yes,
that. And
yes.
that show at the Shamrock was amazing.
It was.
I have a lot of pictures from that, I think.
Yes.
Still. I got to go back and dust them off and
Yeah.
go see, because that was a lot of fun, and I was definitely like really impressed and excited. And I think it's so cool because it is like a circus theme thing, and there is just a big group of people like actually coming together. Do you listen to any like ensemble bands like that?
Yeah.
Maybe like Gogol Bordello or something.
Yeah, I like Gogol, Bordello, and Devotchka.
Devotchka, I've heard of Devotchka.
They're from
That's
Colorado.
fun. Yeah, I'm a big Clockwork Orange fan, so I like their
Oh,
name. So
cool.
Devotchka
Yeah.
is one of the
I don't
slang
even
from the book.
remember. Do they have music in the movie soundtrack?
No, the name or the word
Oh.
Devotchka is like a
shit.
slang term.
That's
Comes
right.
from like the book. I
Okay.
think. And it's just
Oh,
like
that's really
they have
cool.
like weird names for
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, they do. Their
And-
song titles are weird.
Oh, I don't even know how. Yeah. So just. It's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, right. In my book, you're kind of like the other thing I like. So
Yeah. Oh, totally.
super easy.
I do
transition.
remember that now about Devotchka, now that you mention it. I haven't read the book. I saw the movie a long time ago, Clockwork Orange.
I'm
but-
like obsessed with it. Not obsessed like a regular white guy would be, but you know, it's a comfort film. So like, if I need to go to sleep, I'll put it on. It might say a little much about my mental state, but you know, I need mayhem or carnage or something like violent or awful on the TV screen to go to sleep. I don't know why, but it is so comforting. It is so like, yes, the violence will protect me, and I can just, you know, like it's like, whew, at least whatever I'm going through ain't as bad as that, and then I can relax.
Right.
And I'm out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I feel that way when I watch TV because I like
TV in
drama on
general.
TV.
Yeah, drama. Yeah. What do you watch? What's your go-to then?
Everything by Shonda Rhimes, the creator of Grey's Anatomy.
Okay. What else is Grey's Anatomy spin-off wise?
Yeah.
Shonda Rhimes?
So a spin-off from that show was Private Practice.
Private
It's not on the air anymore, but they had like 6 seasons in like the mid 2010s or so. And How to Get Away with Murder, which was really good, I thought,
people love that
starring Viola Davis,
Yeah.
who's just amazing.
She is. She crushes it as Waller in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Is that the same person?
I don't know, because I saw Suicide Squad, but I don't remember her being in it.
I think I'm mixing black people up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Uh-oh. That's that thing white people pretend we don't do, but then we do. And we're like, fuck. We're not prejudiced, we swear. I have to look it up now, because...
Yeah, you should.
Here, hand me that phone over there, will you? Thank you so much.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure it's Viola Davis.
Yeah, we need an answer, because that makes the movie that much better if she was in it.
But regardless, the person
actress
playing Waller... Yeah, no, it's her. It's absolutely her.
Shit, it is?
100%, yeah.
Oh, my God, and I didn't even know.
Wait, is it? No, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not seeing Suicide Squad pop up.
Okay.
Viola Davis, a man... This is not looking good.
Uh-oh.
No, it's definitely her. Okay, yeah, it's definitely her.
Oh,
she's great.
Shit.
Like I said,
so
like I said, black people, she was great in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, yes, and it is her. We have determined. Yeah.
Because that character's a bitch in the comics and TV, and she fucking crushes it.
Yeah.
They're going to have a solo film with her, I think.
Really?
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah. That would be amazing.
Probably not. It'll probably suck. We probably saw the best from Viola Davis in The Help, so.
Definitely. Yeah.
Woman King was garbage, I heard, so.
Which one?
The Woman King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know anything about that.
Well, there's actually a whole nother name for it. You could just say Queen. But there was that other Queen movie that came out, so everyone's like, come on.
But that one's called Bohemian Rhapsody.
That's right. Oh, yeah. That'd be just confusing.
Yeah. I loved her in the aforementioned show, and then the other show that's currently on is in the same universe as Grey's Anatomy. It's Station 19.
Wow, I had no idea that there was like a universe of Grey's Anatomy stuff. That fucks me up. I know people who are obsessed with Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of women.
Yep.
That's what I've taken from
I'm
it.
not ashamed.
It's a ladies show. Nothing wrong with it. Like, and that one guy on there was hot or whatever.
Oh, all the guys on there.
All the guys on that show.
Regardless of their sexual orientations.
Yeah, that's funny. God damn.
Yeah.
They really see that. Okay, that's why you're watching it. Now I understand.
Yes.
I had no idea. I don't think there's like a show that guys watch where it's like, fucking all the chicks are hot on that show. At least I can't think of one.
Really?
Can you think of one? I don't think that's like a thing.
I mean, the ladies on Grey's Anatomy are quite attractive.
That's horseshit. I bet there's some uggos on there. I bet there's a sliding scale.
I mean, they're taking a break right now. Their episodes should actually be coming back on soon. So when they come back on...
They're still making Grey's Anatomy?
Yes, they are.
I thought that shit was done.
I don't want it to end because
I bet.
I've been watching it since season 3, and now I don't even know season 20 or something.
Season 3, that was George Bush's first or second term. That's crazy.
Yeah. I was in my first year of college when my friend in
How
marching
band
introduced me to it. Guess.
I don't fuck that. I said I don't watch shows with I don't. It doesn't mean I don't know anything. I'm not gonna guess. You're gonna have to fucking tell me. You were in college back then?
Yeah.
Were they just let anyone into college? Any age? What? How old are you? Is this gonna be like Casey? Where we're gonna find out you're in your 40s or 50s or something? I'm gonna feel violated.
That was so funny, and that whole conversation, I was cracking up.
That was fucking hilarious.
I'm not as old as Casey, but I'm over 30.
Oh, okay. That's very normal. That's okay.
Yeah. I'm 34.
Oh, right on. That's a good age.
Yeah. And my next birthday's in 5 more months almost.
Yeah. Do you celebrate birthdays still?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you still do that?
I do.
I feel like after a certain age, it's so annoying. You had a couple where you're like, maybe this is too much for me.
Yeah. No,
I'm not trying to guilt you about celebrating or enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
I like getting together with friends.
There's always a good time for that.
Going to visit my mom in Calabasas, and we usually do something, if it's not on my birthday, around my birthday.
Kim Kardashian's house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Them.
Yeah. Yeah, I pester them by playing trumpet solos outside of their yard until they either throw me cash or throw me out.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, thanks. That was actually a decent joke.
Yeah.
But I also like my birthday because it's in June, almost in July, and so I'm off for the summer.
Oh yeah, and middle of the summer too has got to be a good time. There's people who have birthdays right after Christmas or right before Christmas or right in the middle of like winter where it's like depressing and cold. Those people don't grow up like well adjusted at all.
Right?
There's no way. You ever meet someone who has a birthday around Christmas? There's something wrong with them. There's something missing.
That's
it is
true.
So sad.
It is sad.
I have something kind of similar. Explain my strange perimeter. It's rained on nearly every one of my birthdays. It's always rained on my birthday.
Okay.
My birthday is towards the end of April.
Oh wow.
And
interesting.
Yeah, so it was kind of weird because it's like,
even when
it's sunny,
it's a dry year too.
Yeah, dry year, and it like gets a little misty. Like even if it's like a little drizzle, like it's rained on a lot of my birthdays. I think last year and maybe the year before, I can count on maybe one hand like birthdays it hasn't rained on.
Wow.
Growing up.
Wow.
It's kind of weird. But I like that fact. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like, I'm the rainy birthday guy.
Yeah.
That's about as far as I like to go into my birthday.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah. You're like,
I felt like the time to have the party or like have the good time was like when I was a kid, and now I'm an adult, and it's, I don't know, there's something that feels very like high fructose corn syrup about it.
Yeah. A little indulgent or something. Yeah,
exactly. Just kind of like narcissistic or something.
Yeah.
Like how big of an ego would be like, everyone, you gotta come tell me how great I am.
Right.
I was shout out this day, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get it. Really... I like it for the social aspects.
Yeah, exactly.
It's and like a reason to get together.
Yeah, a reason to get together is always like fun. So, you know, if it's just an excuse, I guess I wouldn't mind if I had all my friends over and be like, dude, you want to come over? It's my birthday, you know?
Yeah.
And we just had a good time. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But if they came over and they like made it about me, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
We can have like 5 minutes of this, you know?
Yeah.
Hand me a cupcake or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's change the subject. Yeah.
Yeah. I had a really good birthday last year, though. And it was indulgent.
April?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Went to the desert.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah. Went and got an Airbnb in like Joshua Tree.
Oh, yeah.
Like
I've never been, but I've just heard you now and Sam Cole talk about it too.
I will say that it is one of the few things I can say it is like what it's cracked up to be, and it is a really cool, fun place. I would go again.
Yeah.
And as cliche as it sounds, I just want to go do mushrooms in the fucking desert at Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
It is a good time.
Oh,
amazing shit.
Yeah. And it can be that simple too.
Yeah. And I think that's really cool too is, hey, it's something easy, something simple. Thank God. I don't have to be more interesting or complex to enjoy myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think if there's anywhere, that's the place to do it.
Probably. Why'd you move to Lompoc?
I needed a job.
Really? They didn't have jobs where you're from?
Well... Not exactly.
I don't know where you're from. You could be from a fucking cave for all I know.
I'm from Calabasas.
Yeah. Yikes.
I grew up there.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Emotionally broken person, probably. I have no idea what Calabasas is like. There's some nice areas.
I mean, it's changed a lot, especially since like the advent of reality TV and the aforementioned Kardashians and stuff. Yeah. And it's been built up more. It was always like a wealthy area. But I think it's just become more so, especially as like, feels like the entire world, but especially like parts of Southern California are, you know, becoming even more densely populated. So Calabasas.
There's a lot of homeless people. You're right. Yeah, I did know this. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm talking about like people like moving there and houses being built.
Of course.
Yeah. Calabasas kind of became like an alternative to like going to, I don't know, Beverly Hills or something for a lot of folks, whether they were famous or not, but as long as they had money kind of thing. So it's really changed in that way. And been put on the map because of that. And, you know, not just reality TV, but just kind of that era in general and like social media and kind of all of those cultural changes and things. But when I lived there, I don't know, people would ask me like, oh, do you see the celebrities? Do you, did you go to school with celebrities' kids? Not really. One classmate who was in my year became a porn star.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, I grew up with people, they didn't become porn stars. They just got OnlyFans because they were band geeks with no personalities and found out if they were sluts, they could just get more attention. So.
Yeah, but if you're a band geek, you have a skill. You can just play an instrument.
I'm just kidding. Not band geek, but
Yeah, got it.
OnlyFans was like, they're peaking right now. So
yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, well, OnlyFans wasn't a thing when I was finishing high school.
What a strange world.
Strange world, yeah. And I did see one celebrity, and I think the story is really cool. I worked in between my summers at away from college at this place, Davis Research. I was a phone interviewer, so I would call people and chat them up enough to like ask them interview questions. And it wasn't
That's what I do with this podcast. That's crazy.
Yeah, right? It wasn't a solicitation job, but a lot of times, then and now, like, if you get a call from a stranger, it's kind of like, what the fuck is going on? So I had to figure out, like, the best way to be approachable on the phone and get people to, like, want to chat. And it's not too hard with, like, an older person because they usually want to talk.
Yeah, they're lonely. They're dying soon.
Probably, yeah.
They're like, the phone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's probably, I just realized that's probably why old people get scammed so much. They're just happy someone wants to talk to them. They're
totally.
They're like, I'll risk getting scammed just to have this communication right now.
Which is sad. That's so unfortunate.
See, that's why I just want to fucking check out. Early. Not early.
Yeah.
Like, I got a couple things to do today.
Yeah. Yeah, but maybe next Monday or something.
Yeah, like, I don't want to get that lonely.
Yeah.
As you were saying.
So I was on my lunch break from my gig, and if anyone has been to Calabasas or whatever, they'll know about like the Commons, which was and is like a hangout with shops and restaurants. It's pretty fancy, and especially more now. Like when I would go there, like that was the place kind of that like in high school, like my friends and I would meet up and hang out, and there was a movie theater, etc. And the shops were always like fancy, but they weren't at the level that they are now. Like there's a Rolex store now.
Jesus
I don't think it was there then.
I didn't even know Rolex had stores.
Right?
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And I remember exactly where I was. I think I was probably walking to go get lunch. So I was going one way, and coming along the same pathway, walking the other way was Travis Barker.
Nice.
Yeah.
Travis Barker.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's a cool one. I was like, what dork did she walk by? Come on, what are you talking
Who
about?
was it? But no, it was him, and it was unmistakably him. Yeah, it's not hard to find him.
Mohawk neck tattoos, skinny guy.
Yeah. Yeah, in my
him.
mind, he at the time had a shaved head.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably a little more mature about it. Oh, and he's with one of the fucking Cardos now, too,
yes,
isn't
he is.
God, that's
one
wild,
of them.
Jen.
Yeah,
He's with someone.
I would not have imagined that to happen. But anyway, so I was walking one way, he was going the other, and I looked at him, and then I looked again and did a double take, and we smiled at each other.
Oh, that's sweet. So he knew. Oh, I bet he gets that. I bet like being famous is like when you're approached or you see recognition, it's like you're good right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And in my mind,
but
exactly.
Thank you for recognizing me.
Yeah, exactly. I liked that he probably appreciated that was the most interaction that I took it to,
You know what? I kind of like I white knight myself in that way of like, I'm a celebrity. I'm just keep it cool.
Yeah.
Bronson, like just relax. So
yeah.
Nice.
Play it cool kind of thing.
Fucking A. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah. And so that's really the only experience I can remember, like coming face to face with someone. And then the reason I ended up moving to Lompoc was because I graduated into the Great Recession from college, 2010.
Jesus.
Yeah. It was not a good time to find any kind of job.
Wow.
And it's so interesting comparing it with now because in regards to like education, there are teacher shortages everywhere.
Why is that?
Let's just say that we collectively are realizing that we deserve more pay.
Oh, okay. That's been my whole life. Teachers have been saying that, so
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, well, and that still is the situation, but I think it's now like with being able to pursue other kinds of work or like do like remote jobs or whatever it is, maybe like teaching for private school, online, or whatever, you know, whatever marketable skill that we maybe found like while we were on lockdown. A lot of teachers have like left regular jobs to, you know, pursue that or to do the private school thing or whatever.
I think what we're probably going to see is there's going to be such a demand for teachers. There's going to be a lot of people that shouldn't be teachers filling those positions. There's going to be a lower level of quality, and it's going to really hurt the generation they're teaching. So it's kind of scary to think about. And I think that's a beautiful thing about those teachers who just got sucky pay and did it anyway. Fucking good for them. I'm not willing to die on that cross, but educate kids right on. I think there's also there's been a huge resurgence in like the value system that kids weren't really getting taught anymore in modern public school. And so there's a lot of homeschooling and a lot of like people who want to keep in their wheelhouse of ideologies, whether they're dramatic or fundamental or, you know, just kind of common sense, which, you know, I think every family has a variety of those, all of them. So it's going to be interesting to see how that meshes with all the dumb kids get taught by the fucking nobodies becoming teachers now.
I don't know. I mean,
it's always going to be weird. It's always going to be the like weird public school kids and then the weirdo homeschool kids. But right now, like homeschool kids, all the kids I know that were homeschooled are like, they're the normal people I like gravitate towards. It's hilarious. I went to 6 high schools, 2 junior highs, and 2 elementary schools. So like, I'm like all over the fucking map. So like, I feel like I can like mesh well with other people. Like I know where they're coming from. Because there's a version of someone in every goddamn high school. Like you think you're an original and it's like there is a cellular carbon copy of your ass named Margaret one town over right now. You don't even know it. So
that's kind of unique, just like everyone else.
I feel sorry for the assholes who have to put up with other city Dallas right now. You know, stuck in his shitty podcast.
A couple of other plebs.
You laugh too hard at that. You're like,
well, it's okay for me to laugh because I am in the podcast right now.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. No, I enjoy being mocked a little bit, roasted a little bit. It's good for people. People know they're going to be okay. They're not too sensitive. Hopefully I haven't offended you or roasted you yet, but we'll get there. As we know each other, it'll just start flying out.
I'm totally offended. I think that the period after finishing college and before I got like a teaching job helped me build character. And it did make me really appreciate like finally getting a full-time teaching position and teaching music, what I wanted to do, obviously, and what I got my credential in. And what happened was the school district in the aforementioned city was the first to offer me a job. And so I said, okay. And I was, you know, living at my mom's house. I was 24, about to be 25. And I got ready and picked out an apartment. My first apartment was what used to be called Woodstone Apartments on West Pine Avenue. And then I just left and drove in, and my dad helped me move with a moving van, and that was pretty much it.
Damn.
And that's how I got to Lompoc.
Were you not like, oh shit, I'm in this fucking place?
That came later.
That came later? I would have immediately been like, this isn't Calabasas anymore.
Oh my God. Well,
this isn't Kansas anymore.
It was not, and I did recognize that, but I was just really determined to be able to get a job, and I kind of wanted it to be a little bit away from Calabasas. Like, I wanted to stay in California. I do love California.
It's a perfect state.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Physically.
I'm glad you agree.
Visually and maybe not governmentally always, but
yeah, maybe, but
not financially always.
Yeah. After having lived in Colorado for college, which I also loved, I knew though that California was where I wanted to come back to and end up. So I had that much of it figured out. But then I thought, I really just, I'm tired of not being able to get a job, and I really want to, and I want to move out and be on my own, etc. So I was at the point where I just thought, okay, anywhere in California, I'll apply and hope that somebody accepts me, kind of thing. I had not known where Lompoc was when they offered me a job interview. So I asked if I could do a phone interview. And I remember that I had been substitute teaching. That was what I did, as well as teaching music lessons privately, until I got the job offer. So I even remember like which school I was at when I was subbing, and how it was like probably at like 3 o'clock at the end of the school day when they called me, for me to do the interview.
Details. How
yeah.
cool. How cool to have.
Yeah. And I remember like being in the empty classroom to like take the interview and having had it planned out, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
see, like, just immerse yourself like that for the phone interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
I did, and then they offered me the job, and I was really excited. And I didn't really know until that day. Like, I didn't really look up like
where you were going.
Where I was going. Yeah, because I had been applying everywhere and didn't necessarily remember like the details on like what city was where. Yeah. And then I found out.
Bold of you. The hard way you found out.
I did.
Jeez.
And then, I got here and like, because I was just so like relieved and excited to be like moving and going on my own and stuff, I didn't really mind about where I was going.
Yeah. It was just the adventure either way.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that. I understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need a change of scenery anyways.
Yeah, you do.
Because no matter where you're going, there's someone there that's fed up with it.
Yeah.
You're like, I'll go to Calabasas. Someone's sick of it.
Yeah.
Vice versa, regardless of the, median level income.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Makes sense.
Totally.
Yeah.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Dude, me too. This is a great pause.
Yeah, and you can.
By all means, ladies first. All right. Yeah. So.
I can share a little bit about the LCA just for
the
our
LCA, please
listeners.
bring it on. Yeah,
because it's good to give us some
This is
publicity.
your opportunity to have some sort of platform in this world. Not that you already don't, but by all means, use your outlet.
Well, the LCA is the Lompoc Concert Association, and it's been itself for, I don't know, like 60 years, a really long time.
I can almost guarantee that my grandfather had something to do with them.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sang choir and I think was in charge of
maybe it was like the Lompoc Master Chorale or something.
I can't remember. I have to look at the old newspaper clippings. But yeah, absolutely. How strange.
Yeah.
Small world.
Yeah, totally. Well, it is still a thing, and we bring in performers, and they perform at the First United Methodist Church. The next concert is this evening, February 11th, but we have one more for this season in March. The website where you can find out about that is just lca.org, and it's great. I don't think that many people know about us or about our concerts. So
I mean, this feels like all new information for me.
I thought it might be. Yeah. So it's absolutely worthwhile because the music's great. It's different. It's not always like classical. I don't know what styles of music tonight's piano player will be performing. But
heavy metal probably. Heavy metal, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
The concert in March I'm looking forward to because it's a brass quintet.
Yeah.
Which, for anyone that doesn't know, is usually 2 trumpets, a French horn, a trombone, and a tuba.
You say a French whore?
French horn.
Oh, French horn. Okay, sorry. I was like, I'm in. Where's this at?
You were waiting for that. You were like, oh, something edgy. Brass quartets are not that edgy unless it is that.
Well, it's really exciting that you have something like for concerts, and you got someone brass getting you excited to see. Like, that's cool, because there's people who have some niche interests and they don't have something to come into town for a concert for. So they're probably bumming a little harder than you might be.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Damn right.
I think that's positive.
Thanks.
Yeah. Are there a lot of people at these things, or what? Or is
we
it pretty dead,
would like there to
on?
be more.
Yeah, I understand. I'd assume you'd like there to be more, because I'm just now hearing about it. I've grown up here, so.
Well, right. It's like, it's an older crowd.
Yeah. They're not on Facebook.
No, they're not.
Not on Instagram.
No, they're not. That is something that we have been adding slowly, but surely, though. Like, we have an Instagram now. I think it's just LCA is the Instagram. And we have a Facebook page now as well. Yeah. And
a little late, but okay.
Yeah, I know. And
Facebook, the dead medium of social media. Right on. Glad
right.
Yeah. You guys got a Vine by chance?
No, but we do have a World Star.
World Star? That's funny.
Yeah. So it's cool though. We do usually coming out of COVID, before and now we're doing about 4 concerts per season. Mm-hmm. And the season usually starts in September and goes till March or April.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So you're still having someone. That's very nice.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than no one, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there some objective person that you're trying to get to Lompoc?
Not particularly, but the way that it works with booking musicians is there are different tiers, and with each higher tier means that the performers will cost more and be more expensive, and they'll have more lighting and performance needs. So we usually have to stick within the first 2 tiers or so, because that's the size of our budget. Yeah,
totally understandable.
But it would also be really cool if or when the Lompoc Theater rises again.
I know. I've been waiting
we've all been talking about your entire life. Yeah.
The entirety of my life.
Yeah. It's such a storied theater. But
I want to tell you something super cringy when you're done. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Anyway, that's another aspect. And I know that in the olden days, the LCA concerts were held at that theater too.
Really? Okay.
That's how old the LCA is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Point taken.
Yeah.
So this is just a little childish dream of mine, but I've always wanted to either film a stand-up special or just do a hour-long show at the Lompoc Theater.
Hell yeah.
That would be super cool. If a little wish list, dream list, bucket list type thing.
Yeah.
And it sounds super super and silly, but
no.
To me,
so.
I'm still tasting the corn and cheese in the statement. So it's there. Yeah. But so thank you. But yeah, that's where I'm coming from when I think about the Lompoc Theater.
That's
also,
cool.
I wish there was some midnight horror movie place, and I can just oh God.
Yeah.
Just want something like that without having to go to a disgusting city where I have to step over everyone's used needles and the rejects of society that aren't my friends.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Yeah. All those other rejects can get the fuck out.
Yeah, you're smelling. You're stinking the place.
I
actually lost my olfactory senses and I don't smell anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it's awful.
Did you have the Rona?
I don't think I did, but I certainly couldn't smell or taste for Thanksgiving, so that sucked. Ruined that holiday.
Really?
Yeah, I have not.
That was when that happened?
Yeah. Still can't smell anything to this day.
Maybe you had it and it just was real mild and mostly asymptomatic except for that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I I've heard about that, and I've heard that it does come back. It just takes a long ass time.
That's what I mean.
And that like
There's little things.
Certain little things will come back.
I've noticed certain things that have kind of been introduced in my life after I can kind of smell, but just barely. Just very faintly. I
also heard, that like, I don't know if it would be called smell therapy or what, but I've heard that can also help.
And I've tried some little things, but not diligently. So maybe there's something to it, and I just need to put more effort and consistency in it. But I think that it's also kind of been super interesting for me personally, because I don't actually feel like I'm anywhere. I feel like I'm like watching a movie of things happening.
How weird.
Kind of feel like,
I know that feeling.
You know the feeling where you're like, I'm not actually here right now. Like, I'm very dissociated.
Yes.
That's what it feels like. I feel very dissociated from it because there's no immersion into my surroundings because the smell is not there.
Right.
Biggest memory perceptor is your sense of smell.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm in a new place all the time. Like, that's what it feels like. Is it takes me a second to like readjust to my surroundings.
Wow.
Even if I'm at like every.
Wow.
So it is something I wasn't like totally aware of, but it's given me like a really, really weird, I don't need like a bubble of, I don't know, something around me.
Yeah.
It's strange. I haven't smelled a fart in like 10, 12 weeks. That's been a plus.
Yeah.
I have no concept of like, I think I fucking farted in the work truck and my coworker was like, God damn, dude. And I was like, I have no idea what you're going through right now, pal.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
So that's kind of like a weird toss up.
Yeah.
It's also really interesting because it's kind of like a superpower.
Yeah.
Because like before, I used to be a little bitch about things that smelled bad or funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like the way that smells.
Pretty sensitive to that. Yeah.
So that's pretty nice. I can't cry because of it, which sucks.
Yeah.
Because I'll feel emotional and feel the need
bizarre.
to, and I can't have tears come out.
Yeah.
And that's very strange to me.
Yeah. Wow.
I wonder, like, it just like fucked up the tear ducts up there, or I'm actually just an emotional shell of a person, and it's not actually, or an emotionless shell of a person. It's not there.
Maybe it's like your brain is telling your tear ducts not to leak out because you need to save your energy to compensate for not being able to smell or taste things well.
That's a really insightful take. I like that. I think I'd go with that.
Thanks.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Something to do with like instincts or like preserving like what that could be used for, and it's like, hey, you don't need to cry right now, bitch. You need to survive the lion around the corner.
Yeah.
You know, some like weird deep amygdala caveman thing. Getting all hardwired.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thanks for letting me talk about my nose and smelling.
That's bizarre though. Have you had, if you don't mind me asking, all the COVID shots?
No, I haven't had any of them.
Oh shit.
There's been which it's been so kind of like, it's been nice that everyone like kind of stopped bringing them up, and all the commercials on the radio, because when you work in like a blue collar job, the radio is always on.
Yeah.
It's just the I can't call it anything other than propaganda. Now, I'm not one of those people who is just like extremely like anti-vaccines or things like that, because I think it's pretty smart if there's a thing out there killing a bunch of people, and then there's someone that says, hey, we made this thing that helps you not get sick from it. Like, first instinct, yeah, absolutely, you should probably be going and taking that thing, right?
Yeah.
I was personally, I was like, I'm gonna wait and see what the first few rounds things go, and turns out it's been really bad for young men my age for their hearts. And there's the VAERS reports of vaccine injuries or vaccine injury related deaths has like been super frightening, and makes me feel very fortunate that I didn't.
Okay.
Also, in the same vein, makes me kind of, no pun intended, I don't know if you put this needle in a vein, but it makes me like worried about people like other friends of mine, young men. Like, I don't want something bad to happen to them. I'd rather them just get the shot and then it never has any bad side effects.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That's my like biggest thing. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people like split the road with that.
Yeah.
And memes are funny and like edgy jokes about it are funny and, you know, taking a side in your like little lizard brain like way is fun. But at the end of the day, I have family members who got it and I have family members who didn't get it. And it's very stressful.
Yeah.
Because I don't want one of them to die from COVID because I didn't get it. And I don't want the other one to die from the shot because it was rushed and it wasn't, the efficacy wasn't proven. Kind of a toss up. Also, really uncomfortable conversation for a lot of people. Totally makes sense that like, yeah. So I don't mind you asking, by the way.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm always curious about how like people's experiences with COVID are affected, you know, whether they had the shots or not. So that's partly why I asked.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, I want to ask, but it also sounds like a little like, I don't want to come off like I'm trying to like prove my point or my stance or opinion on something, right? But I do want to know, like, hey, like, do you get any weird side effects? Like, what's going on? Like, do you wish you had taken it? But, yeah, I'm just seeing a lot more contradictory evidence towards it, this late past. So, personally, I'm glad I didn't take it for now. You know, and I had COVID before. And I couldn't taste. That was awful. Yeah. I thought I spent $100 on a steak that sucked. Yeah. I was at dinner and I was like,
oh my God.
Jeez, this thing sucks. I can't believe this doesn't taste like it was $100.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding.
So I was pissed.
Wow.
Turns out I had COVID, so it was a big relief.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe I'll go back to that rest. You're like, I guess.
One time I was eating an apple and I got really worried because I couldn't taste anything about the apple. And then I went and ate something else, and I think it was like pretzels, you know. So as long as I could taste the salt, I knew it was fine, and I was. Okay. So it wasn't me; it was just the shitty apple.
You didn't worry that you lost your taste when you're watching like Grey's Anatomy and the spinoff shows?
Oh my gosh! Well, maybe in a different way, I lost my taste.
I'm just kidding. I have never seen them. I have no idea what they're like. They might be very good shows.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the only data I could go off, sister. Sorry.
It depends on what you're coming to the show to get out of it, I guess. Yeah.
That's fair. Hot guys, I'm in. Sounds good.
Yeah, and a lot of drama. It's really interesting, and especially nowadays, the topics that are approached in the show, Grey's and Station 19, are very important and contemporary.
Yeah.
Like having had COVID, like Meredith Grey, the protagonist, like she almost dies from having it. Sucks. And she's like 50, you know, and healthy otherwise. And one of the firemen in the show Station 19 is black and ends up getting arrested essentially because it's like a wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah,
kind of
black.
Thing.
You were being black over here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's good. They're still being relevant out there.
Yeah. So that's also what I really appreciate about the show is like, it's part of being any kind of artist, I think, is reflecting upon the times that you live in.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's like one of the only ways to stay relevant or to be relevant. Yeah. Just to, you know, it might age some things when you look back on them, but I mean, there are reference points. Yeah. There's a really important punctuation to have. Yeah. Like when you look back at like certain mediums, you go, oh, Jesus, that doesn't hold up. It's like, no, but like that was cutting edge then. Yeah. And that was really important then. And now we have that to look back on. A lot of people didn't like history class growing up. They're like, geez, these old ideas don't hold up so well. And it's like, that's why we're learning about it. Because some asshole's going to have the same idea and we're going to be like, hey. Yeah. Look back over here. See what this regime did? Don't do that. Yeah. So I think I concur is what I'm trying to say in way many more words. Yeah. Yeah. It's good to elaborate in that situation though. Yeah. Yeah, it's important. So yeah, I just like shows where like people are getting like killed and they're fucking and there's, you know, things like that. So like any specific examples? My favorite show that I've ever seen, and it's a very big statement, very bold statement. I understand the weight of it. If I were a person, I would say, I have all the shows I've ever seen. My favorite is Mr. In Between. Okay. It is this Australian program on FX or FXX about this kind of underworld hitman. Or he kills people. Oh, interesting. And he is also kind of a normal guy who goes on a date with a girl he meets at a park, and he has a daughter with his ex-wife, and he has to, he has a brother that he has to take care of, and things like that. And so there's a real heaviness and realism to his, identity outside of the crime world and what he has to do in the crime world. And that dichotomy makes me feel like very attached and very immersed in it.
Yeah.
I think that show's fucked me up more and made me feel something in a way that I'm not getting from a lot of other things. So
it has made you think too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's always a powerful show too, when you think about it after you stop watching the episode.
Yeah.
Or want to discuss it.
And conversely, it's really nice when it takes your mind off of everything you have going on and going through, and you're only thinking about the show.
That too.
So you're like, fuck, I'm thinking about it, but it's because I can't think about anything else.
Yeah.
So that's important. I started watching it when I worked at Skyview, Los Alamos. I was the night auditor, so I'd spent 8 hours alone at night.
Yeah.
There's a lot of downtime, not a lot of customers coming through.
Yeah. What is Skyview?
It's a small town. It's this resort motel place in Los Alamos up on the hill. They had remodeled this old. Yeah. You know the one?
Since I moved to Orchid, when I go south on the 101 now, I pass by that part of it.
I got to just watch cars drive by at night for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And it was one of the more formative things in my life, and I really loved that job. So
wow.
I think back very fondly that that show and all the different things. And honestly, it was a big help in starting the podcast. I did my first couple podcasts there that I never even released. I did them solo on a microphone that I plugged into my phone.
Wow.
Yeah, they were really. I still have them somewhere. I want to release them or have a little Patreon or a little special thing for someone who's actually interested. Don't have to waste their time.
Yeah. Or just call it listen if you dare.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the whole fucking show. So
Totally. I mean, the setting, middle of the night, out there on Los Alamos. It's so dark out there too. I always think about that when I'm driving. It seems like it's always at night when I'm driving back from somewhere to go back to Orchid.
Yeah, it's definitely a little creepy. And something I learned is foxes have the creepiest and scariest little noise and howl they make at night. It sounds like a woman is being choked and raped and beaten and murdered, and that's just a fox just running around.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I know. So I'd just be walking around. It slowly evolved from me walking around with a knife to a BB gun to a gun, and then just being petrified all the time of fucking things coming out. And I think I only had one instance of confrontation the whole time I worked there, and I just had the sheriff deputy come
with another person.
Yeah, with another person who wouldn't. It was harassing someone. At the hotel, and I had to just kind of put hands on him and push him away and get him out of there. And I was that was easy. Yeah, that was nothing. Yeah, that was so much better.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Wasn't no screaming fox.
Yeah.
But I hate foxes now.
Yeah.
They're cute, but fuck them.
Yeah. I don't know that I've heard the sound of a fox screaming, but I think I've at least heard it be talked about. And I'm kind of imagining that, is it anything like an alley cat that's yowling?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Yeah. It's that,
Yeah. Because that sound, I mean, it's less scary probably because when we hear that, we know what that is, Yeah. But it still is kind of disturbing.
When it is 2 a.m., it's completely dark out. You see no one, you hear no one. And then once in a while, the 101 would be have no cars on it.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then you just hear this
oh my God.
Fuck,
oh yeah.
Jesus, fox.
Oh, absolutely. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got comfortable with being scared though. It got to be a lot of fun of see how I can scare myself tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. You were I'm going to make this more interesting by wanting to jump out of my skin.
Mm-hmm. I'd watch scary movies there. I'd watch horror movies. I'd listen to horror podcasts and stuff where they tell fucking
just
spooky
embrace
stories.
it. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you have a concert to get to. You want to wrap this up?
Perhaps. Sure.
We don't have to. We don't have to push it, but we can also keep going.
Yeah. I don't know. Either way.
Either way.
6:40.
All right. let's give you some wiggle room to prepare for the rest of your day.
Yeah.
I always find myself like dying after these. It's a little draining.
Is it?
Get a little, not draining, but give a lot of yourself, right?
Yeah.
How often do you get to talk to someone or about yourself like that long?
True.
You know?
Yeah.
I get more practice at it, so I'm
Yeah.
good at talking about myself. I'm a fat ego of a head, but
Yeah.
is there anything that I could ask you or anything that you'd like to talk about that you're hoping to kind of... I'm always curious what people expect out of a podcast, or even just mine.
Well, just to share my side of the COVID vaccines, I guess.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
yeah.
I know. I got to say my whole stupid spiel.
Yes.
Come on. Let's
Indeed.
give yours.
Well, I've had all the shots, like the first one and then the 2 boosters since then. So like the most recent available booster I got in September of 2022, you know. Yeah. Each time I've been totally fine. Yeah. Like a little bit of nausea and like arm soreness. And the one thing that I won't do again is get the flu shot in one arm and the COVID booster in the other.
Did you get it at the same time?
Yep.
Oh, that's gnarly.
It was kind of terrible. Yeah. The only reason I kind of did that was because it was the weekend before we were going to be moving, and I just needed to get it out of the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
stacking obligations. Makes sense.
Yeah. But I actually, for the very first shots, when those were available, I was able to get it early because of being a teacher.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I had the sweet hookup, and I remember I had to drive to Solvang to the CVS out there because like that was one of the locations in our whole area that had them at the time. And I just felt really, it'll sound silly, but I felt really alive after I got the shot.
After you got the shot? You're like, I got it. I'm here. I'm present. You were doing the contemporary thing, though. It's good,
I was.
Right?
And it was the Johnson & Johnson shot, which not
like
even a month later.
Dave Chappelle said it's like the third best option.
It was, but it was what was available and, you know, whatever.
God, they don't give a fuck about teachers out there, do they?
I guess not.
Like, we're not going to pay them enough and give them the third best
They did
option.
give us a vaccine clinic, but they didn't have that set up until a little bit after I had already gotten mine. Yeah. So that's all right. But anyway, the J&J shot was the one that then was temporarily recalled because of the blood clots in young women under 40 who were taking birth control. You know, those were the categories.
Like,
yeah.
I hit all those boxes.
Yeah, but I'm doing something else for birth control at the moment. I'm not like taking a pill. So
I get it.
Yeah, so everything else though was, you know, was
understood.
That demographic. So, you know, even with that, like I was fine, and I understood that the chances of it happening were still less than 1 in a million.
Yeah, of course. And I think that, you know, calculated risk, if someone wants to take care of themselves, I don't see a problem in it. I mean, at this point, I feel like conversations come and gone. But, like, yeah, like when it was first coming out, it's like,
yeah,
absolutely. Like, if your health is compromised, like, you're not going to get magically healthier. Like, especially for people who are largely overweight or they're elderly, it's like, you're not going to age in reverse and you're not going to lose all that weight and magically have a metabolically perfect system for a while. Get it, right? Like, why wouldn't you get it? Makes a lot of sense. But, yeah. So, thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, like I would love to talk to people about those kind of things.
It's interesting.
It's kind of like a walking on eggshells thing, because it was a very, and still is for some people, like a contentious subject.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people were scared, and a lot of people were put in very uncomfortable situations and positions, and you know, some people found out they would be the kind of person that would spy on their neighbor, or tattle on their neighbor, or someone found out they're like, maybe I fucking don't want people to know what the hell I'm doing or getting shot with. So
yeah.
It's definitely something I'll never forget.
Yeah.
It's just that weird era we're just like stumbling out of. It's kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
That's an understatement, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope to do this again sometime, and I really hope to see you do comedy again too.
Oh my goodness!
Too, so.
Okay, well, with that amount of encouragement, I will let you know that I will do it again.
It can only get not that it was bad, but I'm saying it gets even better and more fun. And like that night I got to have in November, like just for me personally, like I don't know what everyone else thought, but that was a big deal for me, and it made me feel really good.
Oh,
I was like, it's never gone that smoothly. Fuck yeah, that was good.
And your set was really good.
I'm not looking for compliments, sweetheart. Don't
I know, but it was.
say that. Don't. I'm blushing. Trying to exit this podcast with a cool collection here.
Yeah, but
Calm,
we
cool,
do have to
collected
end on
persona.
something positive too.
Right.
So
It could
that's
be a
something
COVID
positive.
test.
Oh,
No, I'm just kidding.
shit.
You're like,
no.
oh shit.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. Not that.
Yeah, I know.
Avoid positive people. Seek out negative people.
That's beautiful. I like that. I'm gonna name the episode that. Avoid positive people.
Oh, absolutely.
That sounds great.
I subscribe to that. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Tiff,
Dallas.
thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure. Glad we got to do it here, and can't wait to talk to you and Casey again.
Yeah. In real life.
Of course.
And off the air.